I have a very strong feeling making this video literally is gonna make people think that I'm a fish wizard or like an animal survival expert. Honestly, I completely have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with animals. I mean, with dogs, like for some reason, like golden retrievers love to listen to me, even though they like to listen to everybody. Like, here's the thing, okay? Well, I remember I babysat my friend's golden retriever. Sorry for the background noise, okay? So ignore that, okay? But anyway, I remember me babysitting my friend's golden retriever, and I babysat it for about 2.5 hours, and I taught it 4 different tricks within that 2.5 hours range. I know for some people they could probably get more, but for a first time ever, me trying to train a dog, that was insane. Mind you, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and I was just saying, I'm just going to be training your dog. Because I think I'm an expert, Let's train that dog. So I pretended to be an expert and I trained the dog, and then the next day, he misbehaved because the dude didn't follow my instructions. Like, I literally told him, just do it, try to do it, daily, train him daily, so he gets in the habit, and then he forgets, and then he ends up, adopting the dog, he ends up putting the dog somewhere else. I was like, why? Why would you, not listen to me? Even though I'm not a dog expert, but that was, common sense, okay? And here's the thing with animals, I feel like people just don't give a fuck what I have to say when it comes with the animals, and I feel like that's just a pattern with, everybody when it comes to me. Even though I never kept a pet in my life besides fish, I know my ways around animals. For example, I have a friend who literally said, he has a ball python, and he's like, you know what, I'll give it in this 40-gallon tank. I told him that was a bad idea because, I feel like it was a little small, and tried to keep it a little bit bigger, 120 gallons instead of a regular 40-gallon tank, right? He says no, everyone was doing it, everything was perfect, and I was just an idiot. It turned out I was right. You literally should give it around a 120-gallon tank for your ball python when it grows up. And the dude goes, oh, you're right. I mean, it doesn't matter. I sold it. I'm like, why would you sell the ball python when I told you, it's going to be expensive and, care and, what's going on, bro? And it gets worse than that, too. There's even times where I'm giving, my friends, pet skills, reptile skills and stuff like that. Yet alone, guess what happens? Nobody listens. And I'm like, well, I mean, I may not, have kept a pet in my entire life. Brother, I know my ways around pets, and especially when it comes with fish. In this video, I just want to talk about fish and some crazy freaking examples about fish that I had to go through for people to keep their fish, and I ended up being right. Starting off with the beta fish. This beta fish, I called it Bluey because Bluey was blue as hell, and he lived in a small, tiny little box, I guess. It's not a big box either. It's not like the container. It's like a fishbowl, but I don't know. It was small, but he just couldn't swim. It was less than a couple gallons, and even then, the entire thing was small. He put tiny little gravel stuff, a whole bunch of plants, and he barely had enough area to swim. This was around almost 10 years ago, and I was probably around 1st or 2nd grade. And the first thing I said, and without any research, this is too small for the fish. The mom tried to educate me, saying, no, it's fine, it's fine. These fish dies every week, it's fine. And I'm like, have you heard of it, something called too small for the fish? Maybe you need a bigger tank. She goes, it's fine. I tried convincing the mom for 2.5 hours not to put it in a small tank, and then she just said no, I was an idiot. 10 years later, I find out I was correct. You wanted to put a beta fish in a 10-gallon tank, at least a 5-gallon if you can't afford the 10-gallon. I told you I know my ways around animals, and I contacted that mom years later, and I said, did Bluey survive? No. He didn't. He passed away about a year later. He passed away from anemia. Brother. This is crazy. One time, I even told one of my friends not to get a goldfish. He got one anyways, and he actually ended up taking good care of it because of my advice. I told him that, you know, when he grows up, because it was a comic fish, you're gonna have to put it like in a 120-gallon tank, and like something like you're gonna have to put it in a really big tank, and he has like 4 of them. He ends up kind of like, you know, putting 4 of them, a little bit, like 2 of them separately. So he has like 2 tanks, and 2 of those tanks has 2 of the comic fish. Anyways, yeah. He pretty much has like around 120 or like 150-gallon tank fish, and even then I was like, yeah, good job for you. And the fish is still alive today, and they're very cool, I guess. One of them is black, like literally. It's not like all black, it's like black in the bottom and orange in the top, but even then it looks really cool. And like I was right. I was like, yep, you should do that. That's pretty awesome. But here's the thing, despite all of that, I also had one giant fact that I knew when I first got fish. So let me tell you about it, okay? For some reason in my head, something told me that, you know, fish needs a variety of food before I even knew how to keep fish. When I first got fish, they told me to get one specific type of food. Guess what? I was right. I was right yet again, okay? I may not keep pets, doesn't mean I'm not right. That's the thing, okay? So let me explain what happened, okay? So here I am, and I'm like, bro, I was like telling my parents, I'm gonna feed it cucumbers. They tell me, don't do it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Don't do it. It was like a battle between do it and don't do it. You know the ice cream kid you probably watched in like what, elementary school, where, you know, this guy's like, don't do it, don't get the ice cream, and the kid goes, get the ice cream, I'm gonna get it. But yeah, no, I ended up doing it, and I did get in trouble. But the funny part is, I was correct yet again, because, you know, like cucumbers and stuff like this, I fed it a cucumber, and the cucumber, like, literally, I don't know if I said cucumber or coconut, by the way. If I did say coconut, I meant cucumber. But anyways, I was like, yeah, I fed this cucumber, and I was like, you know what, whatever. And it turned out that I was correct yet again, because, you know, some of these fish needs these protein. And not the fish pellets. The fish pellets doesn't have all the protein. And I was like, yet again, who's right? One time I even told myself, hey, I think the algae inside the water is actually beneficial. Let's not clean it this week. So like the animals can get, like in the fish, like the animals can get food and all of that. And, you know, my friend said, you're crazy. You're going to kill your fish. And they ended up, you know, surviving within that week because I didn't clean it at all. Like the entire tank was covered in algae, and I was like, I was right. And here's the thing, animal keeping isn't hard at all. The matter of fact, it's pretty easy, and that alone is pretty fun. And here's the thing, if you know what you're doing, I think you would be good at it. And it's very nervous, like you get very nervous. My biggest animal I want to keep as a pet is a corn snake. A corn snake and a ball python. I would love to keep them as pets, and I love snakes so much. And here's the thing, despite me loving dogs a lot more, snakes are really cool to keep because you can take them out, you can do whatever, and put them back in. Simple as day. You can one day treat them as a fish, and the next day you could treat them as dogs. So whatever you want to treat them, you can treat them. You can treat them as tarantulas, whatever. You can do whatever you want. Quite literally, I love snakes, and honestly, I do, and I think it's pretty cool having snakes. Here's the thing, tarantulas are probably one of the weirdest, and I know this came out of nowhere, tarantulas are one of the weirdest animals to keep as pets. Like, I have a friend who literally, in the start, you know, one of his girlfriend gave him a tarantula because, you know, she wasn't allowed to keep a tarantula in her house because, obviously, due to their parents. And so, obviously, you know, she gives it to her boyfriend, a.k.a. my best friend, which I don't contact to because, you know, he obviously was like, yeah, I'm going to go with my girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, I can't even do nothing. Anyway, so I pretty much like tell him, yo, why have this tarantula, right? If you were scared of tarantulas in the beginning, and he goes, yeah, well, my girlfriend got it, and she gave it to me. At the end of the day, I fell in love, and now he has about 10 different types of tarantulas. I wish I was not exaggerating when I say the words 10 different types of tarantulas. He's been having it for about 3 years now, and all of these tarantulas he raised ever since a baby. Till this day, he grabs one of the tarantulas and literally crawls all over his body. It's creepy. I tried to hold one of the tarantula, but the thing is, I'm so scared of spiders. I literally was so close to killing it. I am not kidding. I actually threatened my friend I literally said these words before I end the video. I said, if you don't fucking take that tarantula off my arm, I will kill it and smash it. And that was a threat because I was terrified. FYI, I didn't agree for him to put the tarantula on me, so I was justified, just letting you know. Anywho, he got scared for the tarantula's life because he knew I would do it because I don't mess with spiders. That's the thing. Me, no spiders. Anyways, he grabbed the tarantula. Like, you know what? You just observe the tarantula. You don't have to touch that stuff. But even then, I don't know. Pet skills for me, I feel like even though I don't have any pet skills, I feel like I have some. I don't know what it is. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I was going to say, all of you guys, make sure to like and subscribe, but then I stuttered for a second, but I'll see you guys later. Bye.